I hope we're live now. Good evening, everyone. This is the learner here. Welcome. Is there anybody online? Okay, if you can hear me, please put a comment down in the comment section. And you can hear me, you can see me clearly. We're to start in 2 minutes. We're to start in 2 minutes. If you can hear me, let me see the comments. I can see 4 people live. I can see 4 people viewing live. Hi, good evening, everyone. If you can hear me, please put it in the comment section so that we can go ahead. I want to be sure before I start that you are hearing me very clearly. Please put in the comment section that you can hear me very clearly. If you can hear me clearly, please. Okay, and on your side, you can hear me clearly. So let's go ahead. Good evening, everyone. Welcome from wherever you're watching from. This is the learner. My name is David Obinna. I'm excited to be with you this evening. And this is more like an inaugural section of this episode that we are going to be having weekly. I'm excited to reach out to you using this avenue. Some of you never saw me before. Some have seen me before if you have watched the previous videos that I've put in the group. Welcome to Learners Tribe. Welcome to Learners Tribe, where the members here are ardent learners, passionate thinkers, and people who are inclined to dominate. So this inaugural session of Lessons with the Learner, I'll use the opportunity to briefly talk about this group that you're in, what it is about, why I set up this group. So I'm passionate about, okay, I can hear you. So I'm passionate about learning. I'm passionate about evolving, trying to be a better person. I am passionate about personal development, the human being growing from the state that he is to a better state that he could be. This is basically our passion, and that's why I was nicknamed the learner. I am an ardent learner, an ardent thinker. I want to be more. I want to evolve. I want to be better than I was just yesterday. Okay, so since last week, I started this series called Lessons I Learned from My Models, and I hope that they have been a blessing to you. I did 2 hours video teachings on that. Several of my mentors who have helped me to come to where I am today, those whom from whom I learned public speaking, those from whom I learned how to think, you know, like a dominator and all that. I also tried to do a picture format posts each day, I think over the last 3 days. So now we want to take this to another whole level. You know, we're going to be coming twice a week, Tuesday like this, by this time, 7 till 8. And then we're going to be coming again every Saturday by 7 to 8 too. So today in this inaugural session, like you can see on your screen, I'm sure you can see on your screen. Yeah. So we're talking about the power of a lesson. the power of a lesson. Remember, we all in this group are learners. So if you're a learner, then you should want to know something about lessons, because lessons are what learners are inclined to. As we go further in this episode, of course, I'll start a series where I'm going to talk about who the learner is. We're going to talk about the learner's way. We're going to talk about the learner's approach to issues in life, and that's how he dominates. That's what makes him to dominate. But before we even go into all those, I want to start by letting you know that the learner is inclined to lessons, right? He's big on lessons. He's big on lessons from his environment, lessons from people around him. He wants to know, he wants to grow, so he's lesson conscious. And that's part of what we'll talk in this particular episode, the power of lessons. I called it the secrets of wisdom and personal development. Okay, so let me get to the slide. Let us begin. So let's start. Lessons with the learner, the power of a lesson, the secrets of wisdom and development. So in the next 30 minutes, we should be able to wrap up. We'll just talk about 3 things. This is not going to be the long session. In this particular session, we're going to discuss what's a lesson. We're going to talk about what's in a lesson. That's the benefits and the power of a lesson. We're also going to be talking about the ways to a lesson. That is how you can come about learning lessons and how you can get lessons from everything around you, the way that you learn. So let's move ahead, since you guys can hear me clearly. So what is a lesson? Let's start from there. As learners, we need to understand what a lesson is, how it can benefit us, the power of a lesson. So number one that we have here is that a lesson is an idea or a concept to be learned. A lesson is an idea or a concept to be learned. I'll give you like 3 or 4 definitions, and then at interval I'll be explaining for those that need further explanation. So the next point that we have here is that a lesson is a set of instruction that enables or guides a person's performance, right? This is very critical. A set of instructions that enables and guides performance. That is, without a lesson, there's no guidance. Without a lesson, a person may not be able to perform a particular task. Put it in the situation of life. Without some lessons, a person is not guided in life. Without some lessons, a person is not able to perform optimally as a human being in life. So let's go further. What is a lesson? The next that we have here is that a lesson is a set of instruction intended to teach certain knowledge, attitude, or skill. So this tells us that lessons or a lesson is tied to the acquisition of certain knowledge, attitude, or skill. Okay, next. What is a lesson? We're trying to bring definition, right, to the concept of lesson before we talk about the power therein, what it could do for you and how you can make the best of it to live an effective life. So here we said a lesson is a deep mental impression gained from experience or interaction which instructs a person's action. It's a mental impression that is gained from experience. So a lesson in this case instruct a person's action. If you see people acting a particular way, a certain way, which may be good or bad, it could be because of various and several lessons that they have learned. Let's go further. A lesson is a thing that serves as a warning, also as an encouragement, or as a motivation. So a lesson could be anything. It could be something that you got from an experience, but it serves as a caution. It serves to warn you against something. It serves to preserve you against something. It's a lesson could also serve to encourage you towards something. A lesson could serve to motivate you to act in a certain way. So without lessons, people don't get to do things in a certain way. People are not able to perform some certain things, just like we said before. People are not able to perform optimally. They are not able to get particular or certain results. This is the power of a lesson. We're going into the main meat of the day now. So these definitions that I gave to you are what I put together as the concept of what a lesson is. So let's go further to talk about what's in a lesson. So what's in a lesson? What's the power in it? What's the benefit in it? What can a lesson do for you? What can a lesson do for me? Why do I need to be interested in lessons? Why do I need to be interested in learning? Why do I need to be interested in gaining lessons and gleaning lessons from my experiences, from my circumstances, from things around me? So like you see on your screen, number one is the fact that a lesson is the key to learning. This is Learner's Tribe, and we pride ourselves with our ardency and our pursuit to learn. And we're doing that because we constantly want to grow, we want to evolve. So here we are understanding that a lesson is the key to learning. It's the key to acquiring new knowledge, understanding, attitude, or skill. In other words, here, there is no learning without lessons. It takes lessons to learn. That's how powerful lessons are. Without lessons, forget about learning. Without lessons, there cannot be learning. And without learning, there's no change, there's no growth, there's no evolvement, there's no expansion, there's no dominion without learning. And then without lesson, there's no learning. So let's go ahead to talk about what more is in a lesson. What's the power of a lesson? What can a lesson do for you, and why do you need to pursue it? So a lesson affords a person to know and to grow. I don't think this needs much explanation. I've already said that, lessons are the key to learning, and learning is the key to growing, to expanding, and to dominating. So a lesson, we are understanding here, affords a person who is a learner the opportunity to know, but beyond know, it affords him the opportunity to grow. Let's go further. A lesson is the main means to personal development. As we progress in these episodes, as we progress in these sessions of lessons with the learner, I'm going to be coming to you with teachings on the explanation of what personal development is, how to get the best of it, the power of it, the benefits of it, how to start pursuing it to change your life. But before we even get there, it's good that we understand here that lessons are the means to personal development. It is through lessons that a person improves or develops in any area of his personality. Lessons is the key to personal development. So next, what's in a lesson? A lesson literally transforms a person, and most times it transforms the person for the better. This is how powerful a lesson could be. Lessons bring about change. Lessons bring about transformation. Many a time it is for good. Now, you may learn the lessons from bad experiences, but once you get the lesson, it most time transforms you. It changes the person. It changes how the person thinks. It changes how the person behaves. It changes his attitude next time in such kind of scenario where he learned the lesson from. So let's go ahead. A lesson improves an individual's quality of thinking. We all understand that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. But what improves your thoughts, assuming what you think predominantly your subconscious mind is who you are, how do you improve your thoughts so that you can improve your life, right? The key to improving your thinking, the quality of your thinking, which will result in improving the quality of your life, is lessons. Lessons improves an individual's quality of thinking. The next thing lesson does for us is that lesson affords the ability to perform new tasks. You see, something you couldn't do before, something a person couldn't do before. When he gets a lesson in that area, once he learns in that area, he is empowered and he's able to perform new tasks. That's what lessons could do for you. There are several more, I think 10 of them, but let's see how much we could take as it concerns the power and the enormous benefits of lessons. So lessons affords the opportunity to leverage on diverse experiences. As we go further, we're going to understand the different ways in which you learn. So you find out that we learn basically by and from experience, but it doesn't have to be your experience. So lessons affords you to glean from the experience or leverage from the experience of other people. Just like I've shared with you some days ago about lessons I learned from my models. If you caught that very well, if you paid attention to it, if you followed it seriously, you are going to leverage on my own experience because you have learned my lessons, or you got the lessons from my experience. You learned it from me. So you're going to leverage from my lessons. That's what a lesson can do for you. Furthermore, a lesson enhances one's paradigm. That is your predominant perspective. A lesson enhances also your attitude. That's what a lesson can do for you, and that's the power of a lesson. Furthermore, a lesson enables enhanced behavior. It enables performance. It enables enhanced results. So just like we talked about lessons being the key to personal development or the main means to personal development, here we're talking about the fact that if a person's behavior is enhanced in any way, if his performance, his productivity is enhanced in any ways, his results, his outputs, be it at work, be it in the family, be it in any other sphere, is enhanced, it is thanks to the fact that he has learned or knows some certain lessons, right? So furthermore, a lesson grants a person new and better approach. A lesson grants you new and better approach. Lessons and learning basically brings about growth, newness, innovation, expansion, and development. Powers, and one of the benefits of a lesson is that a lesson grants a person new and better approach. So if you're facing if you're not having the new, is the fact that you are still talking about what's in a lesson. What's the benefit of a lesson? What's there in a lesson, and why is it improving person? Oh, I care. Why should you even pay attention to lessons? Why should you bother anyways? So here it says, a lesson is the essence of wisdom. Remember, we talked about the secrets or secrets of wisdom and personal development. Lesson is very, very key as it concerns being wise, as it concerns being a better person, doing better, performing performing better. So a lesson we are saying here is the essence of wisdom and a lesson is it is the aim and the test for being wise. You can't talk about wisdom without talking about lessons. A wise man is only who has learned the lessons that he's supposed to learn. And that's why he's performing better. That's why his results prove that he is wise. So furthermore, here I said the reason for seeking wisdom and lessons. Because lessons, so and that's how inevitable lessons are as it concerns wisdom, as it concerns personal development, as it concerns the directions of our life. So the tests that person have lessons. How do you know? How do you believe person is wise? Well, the only way to tell that, the only way to differentiate points that I put down here as it concerns what's in a lesson for you. So this is why you must seek lessons, right? Empower you to be better, perform better results. So let's go into the third of because of the lessons you've learned. If you're worse, it's because of the lessons you didn't learn. We are almost wrapping up, guys. Like I told you, today's session is not going to take so long. This is just the inaugural section. Subsequently, we're going to be taking about an hour because I would like to have an interactive to know your thoughts. I want to know what you're learning. I'm very particular learning. We're big on three things. We're big on learning, we're big on thinking, we're big on dominating. We want to be in charge of our sphere, right? We want to be the ones making things happen. We want to be the ones that are synonymous to the who is who's in our sphere. And the key to go there, the key to being that is learning. So subsequent sessions are going to be interactive. Learn what you're getting, what you got, how you're going to do better. Into the final segment of this presentation, we'll talk here about ways to a lesson. So remember, we started out with saying, what's a lesson? We understood that it is a concept to be learned. We understood that it is a set of instruction that is intended to make a person perform better. So we also went further to talk about what's in a lesson. That's the benefit and the power of it, what a lesson can do for you, why you should care. In this final segment, we're talking about ways to a lesson. Basically, what this means is how we learn and how we can learn. If we have understood what lessons are, we have understood what lessons can do for us, how we can change our life. Now let us understand, how can we learn? How can I become an ardent learner? How can I start expressing value for Benjamin Franklin? Okay, this quotation here says, there are two ways to acquire wisdom. You know, wisdom is synonymous to lesson. When a person has learned something, it changes his paradigm, it changes his thinking, it changes his attitude, it changes his behavior, it changes his results. People around him, everyone around him it becomes obvious to everyone around him that this person is wise, this person is different. So, but how do you attain wisdom? How do you glean lessons? Benjamin Franklin said, there are two ways to acquire wisdom. You can either buy it or borrow it. Now, by buying it, you pay full price in terms of the time and the cost to learn the lessons. You can see here the lessons you need to learn. But the other ways of getting it, which is by borrowing. By borrowing it, you go to those men and women who have already paid the price. They have paid the price in terms of time and cost to learn the lessons and then get the wisdom from them. I told you, if you remember, talking about the power of a lesson, that a lesson allows a person to leverage an opportunity, to leverage on other people's experience. So this is what this place is talking about. I hope you can still see my slide. Okay. So this is what Benjamin Franklin is talking about, that there are two ways. It's either you pay the price to learn it yourself, and of course you should know by now that you don't have forever to live, right? You don't have all the years to sit down and learn, or to go through life learning it all by yourself, paying the cost or the price for lessons in terms of the time and what it will cost you. The other second way, which is the better way, is to go to those who have learned and glean of their wisdom and learn from them. You now add to what you have got from them, you perform better. You become even far more better in personality and performance than the people you learn from. So a lesson is learned. We're talking about ways to learn now, ways to get a lesson, ways to acquire wisdom. ways that we become wise. There are just two ways, basically. A lesson is learned either from direct or indirect experience. A lesson is learned either from direct or indirect experience, which comes through learning. And that learning comes by involving, by exploring, by participating, or by teaching and studying. So this is how lesson comes. Comes by just these two ways. Without these two ways, you cannot learn, you cannot acquire lessons, and you cannot acquire wisdom. It comes by direct or indirect experience, just like Benjamin Franklin helped us to understand. It can either come by your own experience or you getting it from someone else's experience. But whichever means, this experience must come in these ways, either by you involving, that's direct, you exploring, that's direct, you participating, that's direct, that's how you learn, or that's how lessons can come, or that's how you meet lessons or you meet wisdom. It can also come by teaching, by studying, or by sharing. And this leads me to talk about this platform again briefly. This is a platform where we get to gain access to lessons, unusual, mind-blowing lessons, but this time not necessarily through your direct experience, right? Someone else's experience. You come to the group, you know, you learn something in either business, in life, in relationship, we're able to share, and you are able to learn indirectly or from an indirect experience of another person. In that case, you are learning by studying, you're learning by sharing. So this is the major way with which we gain lessons. Hence, guys, lessons with the learner is also an avenue where you gain lesson, because I'm teaching, we're sharing, right? So hence, lessons with the learner is an avenue to learn great lessons as well as get all the goodies and benefits attached to learning. You remember all the nice things that I mentioned about learning? It enhances your thinking, the quality of your thinking, your perspective, your paradigm, your behavior, your performance. It is the key to wisdom, it's the key to development. This is what this platform, not just the platform, this particular episode that will be coming bi-weekly will do for you. It will afford you the opportunity to learn great lessons and gain all the goodies that is in a lesson. So guys, I want to urge you to join us. I want to urge you to share this to your friends. If you are watching the replay, if you are not live during this, you can get the replay, listen to it over and again so that it helps you, so that it blesses you, and also share with a friend. Don't allow somebody learn some certain hard for your development. So I want to invite you to join this ever-growing community of leading learners from all over the globe in this bi-weekly, insightful, life-transforming personal development program called Lessons with the Learner. And that's with me, David Obinna. So we're going to be coming to you live every Tuesdays and Saturdays, 7 p.m. West African time. We're coming to you via this platform, live stream, David Obinna. So this takes us to the end of this this session with Lessons with the Learner. I told you it's going to be short. Subsequently, the teachings and the presentations are a little bit long, but for sure it's going to benefit you, and the fact that I'm going to make it interactive, so it's going to be worth your time. So that's it, guys. That is basically it. The power of a lesson. The power of a lesson. I hope you got something from this session. I hope it benefited you. And I hope this same time next week, not even next week, I think Saturday, right? Today is Tuesday, so by Saturday, I'll be coming your way again. This time with an awesome message. I'll publicize it to the group, so look forward to it. I'm going to be delve into entrepreneurship, finance, leadership, all around development. That's what we're all about, because we all in this group are learners and we understand the power do for you. So join this broadcast twice a week, every Tuesday. I look forward to sharing with you a whole. It's going to be up for a while to all who are interested. If you were not live, it would be nice that you cash in and watch it, and that these teachings benefit you. I hope to see you guys in the next episode of Lessons with the Learner. For now, whatever it is that you do, never ever stop learning, never ever stop thinking, never stop dominating. This is the learner here in the next episode.